Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be discussing Tribbie's value. And before we begin today's video, let me know if you're pulling for Tribbie or potentially skipping her and for who. And lastly, if you enjoy videos like these, do make sure to subscribe, hit the like button to support the video, and now let's get straight into it. Tribbie is a Quantum Harmony character and will be releasing in the first half of version 3.1. Tribbie focuses on giving team-wide buffs that all allies can take advantage of to deal more damage onto enemies, and is able to unleash follow-up attacks onto enemies and dish out her own bit of damage alongside the team. When it comes to Tribbie's buffing capabilities, her skill provides all allies 24% ult-type res pen for 3 turns, and the duration of her skill decreases by 1 at the start of Tribbie's turn. As for how powerful ult-type res pen is, here's just a basic example. So if an enemy had 0% resistance to a character you're using, which typically is the case if an enemy is weak to the element of the character you're using, and Tribbie provides you 24% ult-type res pen, this results in a 1.24 times damage increase. So if you were going to deal 100,000 damage, now you're dealing 124,000 damage. The ult-type res pen also assists with dealing with enemies that have resistances to your element as well, and is overall a very powerful and universal buff that many characters can take advantage of. 2 other characters that have this is Robin's E1 and Ruame's ultimate. As for Tribbie's ultimate, she'll be able to tackle enemies and create a zone for 2 turns, which the duration decreases by 1 at the start of her turn. While this zone is active, enemies will receive 30% increased damage, which is considered vulnerability. This allows allies to deal even more damage to enemies on top of the ult-type res pen Tribbie provides. Additionally, after an ally attacks, for every enemy hit, there will be an instance of quantum damage equal to 12% of Tribbie's max HP to the target that has the highest HP among all the hit targets. The multiplier can be upward to 60% of Tribbie's max HP as an attack, depending on the amount of enemies hit on the field, which if there were 5 enemies on the field, it will be that 60%. When it comes to Tribbie's follow-up attacks, she'll be able to unleash 1 follow-up attack each time an ally uses their ultimate, but this does have a limit. This can be triggered once per character ultimate, but you can reset the trigger count by using Tribbie's ultimate again. Tribbie will also be able to increase the follow-up damage she deals onto enemies as well. It is also worth noting that with Tribbie's Trace Pebble at Crossroads, allies can assist with regenerating energy for Tribbie by attacking enemies, which can help with her using her ultimate sooner and just having a very good uptime on her zone from her ultimate. When it comes to Tribbie as a supportive option, her buffing capabilities allows her to be used on varieties of teams, as many DPS characters can nicely take advantage of the buffs she provides, such as the ult-type res pen, and also her zone making enemies take increased damage. Future DPS characters will also be able to take advantage of Tribbie's buffs as well. Now, when it comes to team possibilities, I have gone over these in past videos, but as a quick recap, as mentioned, Tribbie's buffs can be valuable for varieties of teams, some being the Herta alongside Tribbie, follow-up teams, using Tribbie as just a general support for your teams, which can of course also include hypercarry teams, and so on. Tribbie will be a great support on the Herta teams due to the fact that Tribbie will be able to nicely regenerate energy from the AoE attacks from Herta herself, the additional Erudition character on the team, and then depending on which sustain you use, they can help contribute as well. The frequent AoE-centric attacks from Herta teams will allow Tribbie to regain a lot of energy, and Tribbie benefits Herta teams by of course providing the ult-type res pen with her skill for all allies, and then Tribbie's zone through her ultimate. An additional perk is that since Tribbie has those AoE follow-up attacks in her kit, she can help with regenerating a bit of energy for Herta, as well as assisting with stacking interpretation onto enemies. When it comes to Tribbie on follow-up teams, she'll be able to nicely buff up the entire team and also unleash follow-up attacks herself, which can assist with granting Feixiao Flying Aureus stacks, advanced forward Numbi if you're using Topaz, and so on. The high frequency of attacks from follow-up attackers can also assist with regenerating Tribbie energy. Tribbie can be a nice supportive option on Acheron teams due to the buffs she provides. You can use Tribbie alongside Aglaea, as Aglaea can take advantage of these buffs. You can use Tribbie alongside Mydei when he releases. You can also use Tribbie alongside Yanli, Blade, Jingliu, Jingyuan, Damage Over Time, and many more teams. Overall, when it comes to team synergies, Tribbie can be used on quite a lot of teams as a very flexible option due to her buffing capabilities being as universal as they are. It is worth noting that Tribbie will definitely appreciate frequent attackers or AoE-centric attackers on a team, as they can assist with regenerating her more energy to be able to unleash her ultimate more frequently, but overall she still works as a very nice, flexible, and universal supportive option for teams. Now, when it comes to Tribbie's E1 or Light Cone, I would suggest picking up Tribbie's E1 instead of her signature Light Cone, as Tribbie's additional damage dealt from her zone will now deal true damage as well, based on how much damage you deal to all enemies. For a simple example accounting for her first Eidolon, let's say each enemy took 50,000 damage. The enemy with the highest HP will now receive an additional 60,000 damage. This is very powerful for a team to be able to deal more damage onto enemies, and is very nice for AoE attackers to now have stronger output for single target. And of course, this is also very nice for single target damage dealers as well. While Tribbie's Light Cone does provide nice benefits, I've been using Dance 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 very frequently on her and noticed excellent performance with this Light Cone, as it now allows Tribbie to provide action advance for the team, and since she's able to regenerate a bunch of energy through her Chase Pebble at Crossroads, she can often take advantage of her ultimate and provide the team action advance. So I would personally recommend her first Eidolon over her signature Light Cone. If you don't have Dance Dance Dance, you can consider alternative Light Cone options as well, such as Meshing Cogs, Memories of the Past, and so on. Now, when it comes to Tribbie's overall value, I would say she is definitely worth considering picking up, especially since a lot of supportive characters have shown to have immense value when it comes to teams they could be paired up with, current teams, and even future teams. Tribbie's buffing capabilities are also very universal, as I've gone over, as many characters can benefit from her buffs, and she can be paired alongside many characters as a result. Now, some may be wondering if you already have Robin, Sunday, Ruame, and essentially most, if not all, of the premium supports, if you should get Tribbie. Now, I would say if your teams are already fine with the supports you have, and you feel like your account is honestly in a really good spot, don't really feel like you need more supports, then you can continue just using these supports, and if you're lacking other character options, for example, a sustain option, then you likely can be on the lookout for a new sustain for your account. But I will say it's very likely that Tribbie may be best in slot for future teams, and as mentioned, she does have very powerful versatility when it comes to using her on your teams. So due to that, I would still highly recommend to consider her. Just weigh, I guess, the pros and cons of having her. If you do feel like you need another supportive character or would appreciate another supportive character, then she definitely will be a very nice option to consider. Ultimately though, many of the new characters coming out during 3.0 and beyond will all very likely have very powerful kits, fun gameplay, and provide some sort of value. But I would also just try to keep your eye out on your favorite character and what the character you want the most would want for their type of team comp. Regardless though, I would love to know what you all think about Tribbie. What are your thoughts on her? If you will be pulling her or skipping her, and for who? I will be doing Tribbie pulls this week, so do stay tuned to that. I have a very special announcement regarding that. And also, I personally will be pulling her. I think Tribbie's absolutely adorable. I love her animations. So I'm personally a fan of Tribbie, but once again, I would love to know what you all think, and I hope you all did enjoy this video. And if you did, consider subscribing to see more content from me, leave a like to support the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.